So Kim, can you tell us about the book? Tell us the title of the book and how the book even came to be.
Absolutely. The title of the book is I Do It For Her, a memoir of recovery and redemption from sex, love, and substances. And how it came to be, it was a long story. I have been in recovery from drugs and alcohol for 21 years. And I did not know it at the time when I checked into treatment for drugs and alcohol. But now that I look back on it, the signs were more than clear that I had a sex and love addiction. Yet it was never brought to me by the clinical staff. I was never educated about it. The only thing I was told to do was by my sponsor, you don't have a relationship for a year. And I'm like, why? Why? So I didn't have a relationship, but I did have a bunch of sex. Because again, like I had no idea why she was telling me such a thing. And so, off I went, and I married fairly quickly into drug and alcohol recovery, a sex addict. Discovered his sex addiction in our marriage, and then through that marriage, it turned more domestic than anything. It was domestic violence that made us split for good. And then I started acting out as a divorced single mom of 2 kids. I was acting out on the weekends that they were at their dad's. I'm a practicing therapist. I was, clinical director of a treatment facility and acting out on Tinder, Snapchat, all the things that we hear from our clients. I was doing, and boy, did it occur to me. There's a problem here. Of course, a lot of pain had to happen first. I mean, suicidal pain. It was worse than the pain that I felt in chemical dependency. It really was, and it baffled me that I had gotten myself to such a place in recovery from drugs and alcohol. But I was in a pool of shame for being a mother and acting such a way, for being a therapist and acting such a way, for helping women. And while I'm still acting out, all of that shame was just built up. And plus, at the same time, I was having casual sex with men. I mean, young men, in their 20s, and I'm maybe like a 40-year-old or late 30s single mom. And waking up the next morning, dying for them to love me, like wanting them to want to be with me again. Like I wanted them to say, I can't wait to be with you again. I can't wait to see you again. I wanted them to wake up next to me and take me to breakfast. And instead they were rolling over and putting their clothes back on and leaving, or they weren't even there because it was just a booty call. You know what I mean? Like I wanted that. And yet my behaviors were constantly seeking people who couldn't give me that.
And then how did you move into recovery at some point here?
The pain. Yeah, I think the pain got me there. And, great support. Again, I was in AA, which is 12-step support. So I did have a very solid sponsor who I felt open to. I was always open to therapy and going. I did. I just, so like I said in my presentation today too, the recovery for us kind of looks more like the frequency, the length of time spent acting out, and the intensity lessen over time. It doesn't look like, okay, I'm going to stop my behaviors. Yes, I mean, that can look like that. I'm not saying it doesn't, but it's more unrealistic to think I'm going to stop my behaviors altogether and just be in recovery, right? So what it looks like for us is more of the intensity, the frequency, and the length of time spent acting out lessens over time. So gaining that insight and realizing, oh, when I put my hand on the burner, it burns.